Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Remember to like and subscribe for more dynamic focus next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Stefano Valentini from the Evil Within series. He's a photographer with a little bit of a twisted side. Let's just say if he was a food photographer, he'd be shooting a lot of marinara. Get it? Because he's Italian? And a murderer.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh.
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need to take a picture. It will last longer, but not just the image of death, the sensation of death, lasting forever in the mind of the victim. That's super evil. Next, let's get some more obscure powers, like making a horrifying camera monster. Finally, we need to lie to make our way into STEM. Wait, how can he be in STEM? Wouldn't photography make him an art student? For stats, we'll be using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just keep your multi-classing minimums in mind. Charisma will be number 1. You've got the panache to cheat your way through a psychopath test. Although Mobius did the test, and they're just about as good at running tests as they are at making Spider-Man movies. They really are mobbing all over the place. Dexterity next. Guns and knives are instruments of artistry, nearly as important as the camera itself. Constitution after that. Stefano takes a lot more hits than common monsters. Obviously, he's staying healthy. Follow that with intelligence. He's got a much better handle of STEM system than Sebastian, and dude didn't even go to Beacon. Wisdom is a bit low. We'll crank perception, but don't need much else. If Stefano is as much of a psycho serial killer, I doubt he has a great relationship with the neighborhood pets. We'll dump strength though. Don't need to do any heavy lifting when you can call Godrika the Grafted to do your bidding. Stefano is a human, but stemming makes him pretty cool. So we'll grab the Fey Touched Feet for +1 charisma, the ability to cast Misty Step once per long rest for free, and teleport up to 30 feet as a bonus action, and another first level spell of your choice from Illusion or Divination schools. We'll go for Identify so you know what a magical item is and what it does. Okay, seems like this whole Matrix dream world is pretty sick. It's literally called Union. How could it not be based as hell? Bump your charisma and constitution with your 2 free points, take perception for your skill of choice, and investigation and arcana for your background skills. Our first class has a lot of variety of choices, but these are good skills to find the perfect shot and understand your brave new world. We'll kick things off as a bard. You're an artist after all, but mostly we just need spellcasting to take Fey Touched at level 1. I honestly wish we could have started as rogue since you were a serial killer in real life before you joined the Union, but oh well. 3 skills of your choice: persuasion, deception, and intimidation are the move. They'll get you into Union by lying. I'm imagining the Mobius test is, hey, you're nice, right? And then you say yes, and they send you through. Checks out. For your cantrips, prestidigitation lets you do a bunch of small things like make a small object in your hand. Photography is a few hundred years after the Forgotten Realms era, but if you can just conjure a photograph in your hand, that would be like a 5e Polaroid. Vicious Mockery lets you insult people in Italiano, forcing a wisdom saving throw on them and dealing a d4 of psychic damage if they fail. They also have disadvantage on their next attack roll, so it should make Sebastian a worse shot. For first level spells, Fairy Fire is nice camera flash, illuminating a cube and forcing a dexterity saving throw on creatures inside of it. Failing that, attacks against them have advantage and they can't turn invisible. Advantage will be more advantageous next level. You have to have patience with a photography build. It takes a while to develop. Bane forces a charisma saving throw on up to 3 creatures, forcing them to take a d4 penalty to their attack rolls and saving throws for up to a minute, depending on your concentration. Sebastian generally rolls alone, but if he gets a squad together, throw some hate at Flounder and Ariel too. Silvery Barbs forces a creature to reroll an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw and gives another creature advantage on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Insulting people makes you better. They have to suffer for your art. Finally, Charm Person forces a wisdom saving throw on a humanoid. Failing that, they're charmed by you for an hour. Maybe I'm too mean to Mobius. Maybe they were charmed when they let Stefano in. Although they did make a Matrix Sim City out of a psychopath's brain twice. I think I'm just being mean enough. Finally, you get Bardic Inspiration, letting your allies add a d6 to attack rolls, ability checks, or saving throws with an amount equal to your charisma modifier per long rest. It doesn't happen in the game, but I'm sure Stefano and Obscura have had tons of fun adventures together. Bouncing over to Rogue now. I wasn't subtle about wanting to start there, but oh well, we don't need many more skills anyway. Get Sleight of Hand. Yeah, get 1 for multi-classing, and Stefano really loves twirling that knife around. Sneak Attack gives you a bonus when you twirl that knife around while you have advantage, or in Obscura within 5 feet of a creature, you can add an extra d6 of damage to that attack roll. Also works with guns if you want the kill shot with a literal shot. You get expertise in 2 skills, doubling your proficiency with them as well. We'll go for deception and perception to lie and take better pictures. Some photographers have a special eye, but you have one that's a horrible eldritch being in the sky. And right back over to Bard for Jack of all trades, letting you add half your proficiency bonus to skill checks when you don't have proficiency. Photographers often have to be one-man bands. I'm sure serial killers do too. Song of Rest lets your allies heal an extra d6 on short rests. It's really just for you, so I'm thinking something like Serenade for Strings in C Major by Tchaikovsky. Don't be picky. For this level spell, Silent Image lets you make a bigger photograph, filling a 15-foot cube, but it can't make a sound. Photographs generally don't. It will look great in the gallery. Third level bards get expertise in 2 more skills. Let's go for Intimidation and Arcana this time. For your bard college, Whispers is the evilest one, but it's not the most Stefano. Extra psychic damage would be nice, but he doesn't steal identities or blackmail people. That's too mean. He just murders. So we'll go for the College of Lore, giving you 3 more skills like Religion, Insight, and Acrobatics. Religion to get along with Theodore, Insight to find the best angles for your subjects, and Acrobatics to avoid grapples. You also get Cutting Words. The best way to use your inspiration die is to insult someone to do worse on an ability check, attack roll, or damage roll. Dude is hard as hell to hit, and there's always a voice line when he blinks. Coincidence? I think not. For your second level spell, Hold Person is a great camera lock, forcing a wisdom saving throw on a humanoid, paralyzing them for up to a minute if they fail. That means automatic crits in melee range, boosting your sneak attack even further. It should really help you capture the moment. Fourth level bards get an ability score improvement, bump your charisma for better spells and better lying. For this level spell, Blindness Deafness lets you force a constitution saving throw on a creature and either blind them or deafen them, blind them with a camera flash, or deafen them with a knife to the ear. Fifth level bards get a Font of Inspiration, letting you recover your inspiration die on short rests. I'm assuming as an artist, your sleep schedule is whack. Those die also bump up to d8s. And you can learn third level spells. Slow is a bigger, badder, time slow spell thing. It forces a wisdom saving throw on creatures in a 40-foot cube. Failing that, they have anti-haste. That's -2 to their AC and dexterity saving throws, no reactions, only an action or bonus action on their turns, halved movement speed, maximum of 1 attack per turn, and they have to roll a d20 if they cast a spell. On an 11 or higher, they gotta try it next turn or waste it. It's so much mean debuffing, it really captures the meanness of stalling someone in an eternal death. 6th level lore bards get magical secrets. Blink lets you move in and out of the material plane at the end of each turn. Roll a d20. On an 11 or higher, you're not even there, and you pop back in somewhere within 10 feet of where you left at the start of your next turn. Imagine fighting a boss that doesn't even have to be there half the time. Nightmare. Mage armor will also make you harder to hit, making your AC 13 plus your dexterity modifier when you're not wearing armor. Stefano is just wearing a suit, but when you shoot him in his human body, he's fine? That's STEM stuff. For this level spell, Glyph of Warding lets you store a spell of 3rd level or lower in a trap that activates on a trigger. Put slow into a glyph, and you can set up a camera to trigger when some dummy walks past it. Or Hold Person, whichever flavor you like. 7th level bards can learn 4th level spells. Phantasmal Killer will let you get your first weird freaky thing to chase people with, forcing a wisdom saving throw on a creature. Failing that, they're frightened and take 4d10 psychic damage at the end of each turn, while their worst fear terrorizes them. My biggest fear is a lady that's 10 feet tall with 9 faces and a buzzsaw hand. Hopefully he doesn't conjure that. 8th level bards get another ability score improvement, cap your charisma, and start working on dexterity for better knife skills, even if magic is probably the better move. For this level spell, Hallucinatory Terrain lets you change the environment, making an area look different from an area without totally changing things. You can use this for funny pranks, like putting a floor where there's not a floor, then take a picture of someone right before they fall for a fun little Wile E. Coyote effect. 9th level bards get 5th level spells, but the ones I want are magical secrets, so get Fear, forcing a wisdom saving throw on creatures in a 90-foot cone. Failing that, they're frightened and have to use their action to dash away from you. It's not evil within until you gotta book it down a hallway. 10th level bards get more expertise. Let's hit Investigation and Persuasion. I think, God, you've got a lot of expertise. Your bardic inspiration bumps to a d10 to roast Sebastian harder than his daughter got roasted in that fire.
Boom. Roasted. 2
more magical secrets here. Far Step is pretty quick. It lets you teleport 60 feet as a bonus action every round for up to a minute, depending on your concentration. Blink isn't concentration, so you can use this with your concentration, teleport 60 feet away, and then maybe not even be on the same plane. Nightmare of a fight. Summon Aberration is another great concentration option. Summoning an aberration for up to an hour, depending on your concentration. The stats are in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Reading them out would be kind of long and wouldn't be good. Just read, probably. I chose Aberration because they're very thing that should not be. That's my pick for Obscura. If you prefer Demon or Shadow Spawn, you can get those summons instead. Dealer's choice, just pick something to summon a horrible monster. 11th level bards can learn 6th level spells. Programmed Illusion is like Glyph of Warding for specifically an illusion. And wait, why would you use this when you could just use Glyph of Warding in Major Image? I guess this lasts until dispelled and it only takes up 1 spell slot? It works. I don't know. 12th level bards get an ability score improvement. Keep pushing that dexterity higher for better AC and better stabbing. Stabbing is fun, even if it's not good for you. Art isn't always about efficiency. Sometimes it's about panache. 13th level bards can learn 7th level spells. Mirage Arcane lets you change an area within 1 mile for up to 10 days. The shape can't change, but everything else can. Smell, taste, sight, touch, as long as it's the same shape. There's a lot of hallways that turn into different looking hallways while you're chasing down Stefano. You're not being teleported, you're being bamboozled. 14th level bards get some more magical secrets. Let's get a better knife with Shadow Blade. It's a conjured weapon that deals 2d6 psychic damage, has the thrown property, and finesse. Lord knows Stefano likes to hit the yeet button sometimes, and then you can just conjure it back to your hand. It's a really fun spell that kind of lets you play a melee character even though you built a spellcaster. Ivard's Black Tentacles will let you get your aperture going, turning a 20-foot square into difficult terrain. Creatures ending their turn in the area have to make a dexterity saving throw, or they become restrained by giant tentacles and take 3d6 bludgeoning damage. Then they'll take 3d6 bludgeoning damage again at the start of their turn if they're restrained. Sometimes you just gotta bring out the squids. 15th level bards can learn 8th level spells. Power word stun is our penultimate photo block, instantly stunning a creature with 150 HP or less. On following turns, they can make a constitution saving throw to shake it off, but your casting modifier is maxed out, and you can cloud on them with d12 inspiration die at this point, while you keep stabbing them. 16th level bards get another ability score improvement. Can't quite cap off that dexterity, but we can get a little bit closer. That's nice. It's not going to make an entire auditorium's head explode, but it's not like there's a spell for that. 17th level bards get a spell that makes an entire auditorium's head explode with Psychic Scream. It forces an intelligence saving throw on up to 10 creatures within 90 feet of you. Failing that, they take 14d6 psychic damage and are stunned until they pass a saving throw on their turn. Half damage and no stunning if they succeed. The damage would make their HP 0, their heads pop. Now 10 isn't a whole auditorium. You might have to sync this up with some explosives. 18th level bards get 2 more magical secrets for what I think is the most underwhelming 9th level spell, Time Stop. It makes time stop for everyone, but you get 1d4 plus 1 turns, and if you interact with any creature, it just immediately ends. Like, it's a 9th level spell, and the best thing you can do with it is run away, but you can't even run away more than 1,000 feet because then the spell ends early. I don't vibe with it, but it is something Stefano can do, so it's here on the list. For the final spell, I'm gonna say Dealer's Choice. I put Summon the Aberration on the list. I recommend getting a second summoning spell, either Undead, Shadow Spawn, or Demon, whatever you want to do, whatever you think these weird things are in Evil Within that are attacking, whatever you'd classify them as, get another summon spell so that you have options. For Capstone is the 19th level of Bard. For one last ability score improvement or feat, might as well grab Piercer for +1 to your dex. You can also roll 1 damage die per turn with advantage and add an extra damage die when you critically hit with a piercing attack. That would be, stabbing. It just makes the dagger a little more worth it. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you are annoying to your enemies with Blink and Far Step combining to make you a nightmare to land a hit against. You're also great at debuffing with plenty of spells and abilities that make your subjects worse and your photographs better. Finally, you're loaded with skills. You can be a boss just by setting up the world for the heroes to run through, kind of like a fantasy jigsaw. For weaknesses, would it kill you to do a push-up? I know you're not getting in the front of the camera, but your strength score is low. You're also rocking a lot of concentration spells, so you have to pick and choose what you want to use. Finally, you're not great at concentration with only a +2 modifier to the saving throw. Oh my god, an artist who has trouble concentrating. I wonder how the writers came up with that. Look, getting distracted helps you see things others can't. Take pictures, explore your passions, and be the meanest, cruelest son of a bitch you can be. Just make sure you don't get grappled, or some basic bro could turn you into soup. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe for more. We'll make more of these. Join the Patreon if you want to support the channel, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.